One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
Puffy was playing with your booty.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said.
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff. When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flicky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
The moment 50 Cent walked into the courtroom, Diddy's entire demeanor shifted. Eyes wide, jaw tight, hands trembling. By day 3 of the trial, the pressure had cracked the unshakable image Diddy spent decades building. Known for his calm, rehearsed persona, Diddy had always handled scandals with ease. But not this time. Court witnesses said he was already on edge, interrupting his lawyers, bouncing his leg, even yelling during testimony. But when 50 Cent, his longtime rival, showed up unannounced, everything unraveled. The courtroom fell silent as 50, in a black suit and sunglasses, took a seat. Diddy froze, visibly shaken. Their beef goes back over 20 years, filled with insults, accusations, and public jabs. But 50's appearance wasn't just for show. He'd been working behind the scenes with Cassie's legal team, offering support and even funding her case through his G-Unity Foundation. Outside the courtroom, he told reporters, "This isn't about me and Diddy. It's about doing what's right." When word of that reached Diddy, he lost it, slamming the table, knocking over a glass, shaking with rage. Security stepped in. And then, just as tensions peaked, the prosecution announced they had new evidence. Proof, they claimed, that Diddy had lied under oath. The courtroom braced for what came next. The tension in the courtroom spiked after 50 Cent's unexpected appearance. Everyone could feel something big coming. The prosecution revealed new evidence, item 47B, that had not been disclosed before. Diddy's attorney objected, but the judge allowed it, explaining it had just been discovered. What followed shook the room. Security footage from Diddy's Miami home in 2018 showed Diddy violently confronting Cassie. Though silent, the video clearly captured Diddy yelling, shaking her, and pushing her to the floor. Diddy exploded, denying everything and shouting mid-trial. It directly contradicted his prior sworn statement that he'd never assaulted Cassie and that no such footage existed. The judge refused to recess and demanded Diddy regain control. Witnesses said his entire demeanor collapsed. He was visibly shaken and muttering to himself. Word of the footage spread fast, and Hollywood reacted almost instantly. Previously, loyal celebrities began distancing themselves. Usher, Mary J. Blige, and Bieber unfollowed Diddy on social media. Others like Cardi B and Lizzo posted cryptic messages clearly aimed at him. Rumors surfaced that even Rihanna and Beyoncé were ignoring Diddy's calls. Lady Gaga sent flowers to Cassie with a message. "I believe you." Support for Cassie surged. Female artists reached out to testify, and public opinion shifted dramatically. Diddy's powerful image was crumbling. The final blow came during Cassie's testimony later that day. She described how Diddy threatened her career when she tried to leave him and once locked her in a room for 2 days after seeing her speak to another music executive. Diddy's agitation grew visible. He fidgeted, whispered angrily to his lawyers, and repeatedly shook his head. By the end of day 3, the man who once ruled the music industry looked completely broken. As Cassie spoke, you could see Diddy's entire demeanor shift. His eyes widened, his jaw clenched, and a thick vein began pulsing on his forehead, visible even from the gallery seats. A courtroom sketch artist captured the exact moment, a face filled with rage, unlike anything we've seen from Diddy publicly. Then, in an instant, he shot up from his seat. His lawyer grabbed for his jacket, trying to pull him back down, but Diddy was already yelling. "That's all lies," he shouted, pointing directly at Cassie. "You know what you did." The courtroom fell into stunned silence. Even the court reporter stopped typing for a second. Cassie visibly flinched, but didn't break. She stared straight ahead, refusing to look at him. Diddy wasn't done. He spun toward the gallery and locked eyes with 50 Cent. "And you!" he shouted, voice cracking. "You'll regret stepping into this." Court security immediately sprang into action. 2 officers moved in between Diddy and Cassie, while another positioned himself right behind Diddy's chair. Judge Harmon banged her gavel. "Mr. Combs, you will compose yourself in this courtroom," she warned sharply. "One more incident, and I will hold you in contempt. Security, stay where you are." Diddy's lawyer tried to request a recess, but Judge Harmon cut him off, saying, "Sit down, counsel. We're moving forward." Spectators watched in disbelief as the man known for keeping his cool fell apart so publicly. One juror immediately began scribbling in her notebook, which, as any defense team knows, is never a good sign. Meanwhile, Cassie didn't miss a beat. She calmly took a sip of water and continued her testimony like the interruption never happened. Later, her lawyer told the press that her poise came from a growing sense of empowerment, especially with visible support from powerful allies like 50 Cent. As for 50, his reaction was subtle but sharp. He met Diddy's outburst with a slight grin and a slow nod, like a man who had just seen his plan work. The balance of power had clearly shifted in that courtroom, and Cassie was just getting started. Immediately after court ended, Diddy's legal team huddled like a crisis unit. Their defense had been built around portraying him as calm, collected, a businessman who always kept his composure. But now that image was shattered. According to someone familiar with the case, they spent the night revising their entire legal strategy, their new approach, paint Diddy as the real victim. The next morning, his lawyers filed a request for a mistrial, arguing that 50 Cent's presence in the courtroom had been meant to intimidate and provoke Diddy, creating a biased atmosphere. They even included screenshots from 50's social media, claiming he was attempting to sway the trial's outcome. But the judge wasn't having it. The motion was denied within hours. Her written response? Mr. Combs's actions are his own responsibility. Now, Diddy's team is scrambling. They've shifted from flat-out denial to admitting passionate misunderstandings. It's a complete reversal of their original claims. Meanwhile, Cassie's side is capitalizing. Her lead attorney has already requested to add 3 new witnesses to the stand. Individuals who had initially refused to testify, but felt safer after seeing Diddy unravel in court. Sources say the potential witnesses include a former bodyguard and 2 assistants who allegedly witnessed Diddy's behavior firsthand. The trial is gaining momentum, and 50 Cent is still stirring the pot. Since the outburst, he's posted 7 times about the trial, each one more bold than the last. One post went viral, a side-by-side image of Diddy's meltdown next to the hotel footage of him and Cassie, with the caption, "Actions speak louder than lawyers." It racked up over 3 million likes in half a day. He also teased a new docuseries titled Music Industry Secrets, which many suspect will center on Diddy. But the biggest transformation has been Cassie herself. Courtroom observers said she returned to the stand with more confidence than ever. She spoke louder, stood taller, and delivered each answer with clarity and conviction. Her attorney later told reporters she feels heard. Every day that passes, she finds more strength in her truth. Legal experts are now saying that Diddy's explosive behavior in court has done serious, perhaps irreversible, damage to his defense. Jury consultant Sarah Matthews explained that jurors don't just listen to testimony, they interpret body language, tone, and composure. They just watched him completely lose control in front of their eyes, she said. That moment will linger in their minds far longer than any carefully crafted argument. Another trial analyst echoed that sentiment, pointing out how jurors physically leaned away from Diddy after his outburst, a clear sign of discomfort and distrust that could shape how they received the rest of the evidence. But the consequences of Diddy's courtroom meltdown are not limited to the legal battlefield. They're reverberating through his business empire as well. His media company, Revolt, saw its stock drop by 14% within 24 hours of the courtroom incident. Behind closed doors, 3 major brand partners linked to his alcohol businesses have hit the brakes, quietly pausing or reconsidering future deals. On top of that, his talent agency is reportedly re-evaluating its entire relationship with him. Industry insiders estimate Diddy stands to lose as much as $200 million in endorsements, partnerships, and investments, whether he's found guilty or not. What we're witnessing is a dramatic power shift. Diddy, once known as the ultimate gatekeeper of music and media, a man who could make or break careers with a single call, is now watching that influence slip through his fingers. Meanwhile, Cassie, who once stayed silent out of fear, is gaining confidence and credibility by the day. And with someone like 50 Cent, an influential figure in his own right, publicly supporting her and promising to reveal more, the trial has taken on a much larger scope. This is no longer just about the allegations between 2 people. It's about the industry itself. For decades, figures like Diddy operated in an environment where fame, fear, and loyalty kept people quiet. But that dynamic is crumbling. The music industry is being forced to look at itself through a new lens, one that doesn't turn away when the powerful are accused, one that listens to the voices that were previously dismissed or silenced. In the span of a few courtroom sessions, the entire entertainment hierarchy has begun to shift. The man who once stood on top, controlling the narrative, is now at the mercy of it. Cassie's courage and 50 Cent's tactical support have triggered a cascade effect, encouraging others who've stayed silent for years to consider coming forward. The industry that once protected its own at all costs is now seeing that protection erode. This case has cracked open a vault of long-buried secrets. As it unfolds, the focus is no longer just on Diddy's downfall, it's on a broader reckoning across music and media. The silence that protected the powerful for so long is breaking, and with it, the illusion of invincibility that once surrounded them.